And to discuss the significance of the presidential elections in Ecuador this Sunday, we now welcome Danny Shaw, Professor of Latin American Studies and Senior Research Fellow at the Council on Hemispheric Affairs. Danny, thank you for joining us again.
Good evening, Catriona.
Danny, from the results available so far, the vote abroad shows a wide advantage for Andrés Arauz with over 63% of the vote, compared to Guillermo Lasso with about 36%. What do these results tell us about the political views of Ecuadorians residing abroad?
Well, it's still early. Nothing's definitive because Ecuadorians who are in Europe and in the U.S., they're just one zone to be counted. Then you have the coast, you have Quito, you have Manta and Cuenca, the Amazonian region. So it's still very early. One poll now coming in has Arauz just edging out Lasso 50.8% to 49.2%. That's Clima Social. Then the CTE polls right now are giving a slight advantage to Lasso, to the banker Lasso. Let's not forget that important first name or adjective. So it's too close to call. It's nothing but speculation at this point. But certainly the future of Ecuador and the momentum of the continent certainly hang in the balance, not just in Ecuador today, but also in Peru.
Danny, despite the clear lead for Andrés Arauz abroad, as you said, the race appears to be much closer overall and according to exit polls. Although, of course, we must wait until the official results are released later tonight. How important is it that Andrés Arauz secures a significant lead over Guillermo Lasso?
Yeah, certainly at this point, Arauz seems like the favorite. By securing the Indigenous Confederation, their support, it would seem like this would give Arauz even a significant advantage. So I think right now, Rafael Correa and other anti-imperialist forces are really cautioning against some of the CTE polls at this point. There's been allegations, both from the right wing and the anti-imperialist forces, of irregularities. So there's been different complaints. So I think right now we just have to hold tight and see how this all plays out. Perhaps we'll know something by tonight, or it might be in the early hours of tomorrow morning before we know anything definitive.
Danny, given Guillermo Lasso's acts in the past, for example, exit polls, an exit poll that he's linked to, giving him the lead when he ran against Lenin Moreno, what's the likelihood that he's going to cry fraud if he loses today?
Yeah, you can really see the difference in the posture of both candidates. Arauz from the jump has thanked Ecuadorian voters for what's been a peaceful process so far. The neoliberal forces have ran a very dirty campaign. They've used this red baiting, and they've really tried to demonize Venezuela. They've shown shocking images of Venezuela, then saying that Ecuador could be the next Venezuela, without contextualizing that the U.S. has a proxy war against Venezuela. So Lasso, I think, and the power structure will use the media. They'll use whatever tricks they have up their sleeve to try to steal this election, whereas it seems like Andrés Arauz and La Unión por la Esperanza really stand by a people's democracy and seem to be loyal to that.
Danny, you've mentioned it slightly there, but what are the stakes for Ecuadorians in this Sunday's elections? What do these two different presidential candidates represent?
This is night and day. This is the past versus the future. This is Bolivarian momentum versus neocolonialism. So really, it's not just South America, but the entire third world. The entire world is focused right now on Ecuador and again Peru. Right now, there's a nationalist or leftist, Pedro Castillo from Peru Libre, who's ahead of Hernando de Soto by about 5 percentage points. It's still early, and there has to be a runoff in June in Peru. But certainly, this is Super Domingo or Super Sunday across Latin America. And this is a big, big day. These results mean a lot. This is going to be momentum for the forces of invasion and occupation and blockades of Cuba and blockades of Nicaragua and blockades of Venezuela. Or this is going to be momentum for a more united America, a Latin America based on integration. So these are two completely different paths forward. And I think a lot of people, including myself, were sitting on the edge of our seats. The CTE, the initial results, do not look promising, but there's entire sectors of the country, it's done by region, that have not even been considered yet. So it's also very premature to feel this level of doubt or fear. I think it's important to always have a sense of revolutionary optimism.
Danny Shaw, Professor of Latin American Studies and Senior Research Fellow at the Council on Hemispheric Affairs. Thank you for joining us once again, for offering your insight into these crucial presidential elections, not just for Ecuador, but for the region. Thank you.
Thank you.